So, because I can't do like one by one volunteers, I need you to all do this for a moment, okay? I need everybody to close your eyes. And there is no cheating, no peeking, nobody's gonna, just close your eyes and keep them closed for a moment, and what I'm gonna ask you to do, I would like you to do. So what I would like you to do while your eyes are closed, count to 3 at a nice 1, 2, 3. Open. Okay, that's what I want you to do. Don't open yet. Oh yes. That was an example, that was a test run. I'm not like them, I need practice. So come on now, are you ready? Eyes closed and count.
1, 2, 3. Open.
So I moved, right? Now, those of you who did not cheat, as I was watching you, some of you cheated, some were peeking. Did you see me move? No. And this, you're going to say, great, it's common sense. Why did you not see me move? Because your eyes were closed. But does it not happen very often that many of us are going through life with our eyes closed, wondering why we're not getting where we want to get, wondering why we're not seeing what we want or expect to see? You know, that wasn't a question. I'll let you know when it's I know you're used to the teacher and me asking questions, I know, but I'll cue you up.
Yes.
Scripture says, without vision, the people perish. Without vision. What does it mean to have vision? Because oftentimes we think vision and we think, someone just says vision on a normal average, any day kind of time, and we say vision, we think 20/20, 60/40, 10. We think whatever. We think vision, what these eyes can do. But do we realize that it's not even our eyes that see? I mean, when you talk about anatomically, our eyes don't see. Our eyes are a tool the mind sees. The eyes are receptors for what light bounces off of. The mind interprets what that is and what that means. So when we see something, are we really seeing it? Or are we merely interpreting what's being seen? So, as an example, I was born March 25th, 1966, right? Lived a life of a great amount of abuse and pain and suffering. Hated myself and prayed to die up until I was well into my adulthood years. And yet here I am. Completely different from that person. And if I were to ask anyone, do you have pain? Have you ever felt pain? Have you ever suffered? Have you ever gone through an experience that you really wish you hadn't gone through? And I'm pretty sure I would get a resounding yes, even from the one who is ever so young in the room. I'm sure there was a day on the playground when things did not go the way she wanted things to go. Or he wanted things to go. Or they wanted things to go. Even as young people. And yet, everything that happens, we say in this whole metaphysical thing, everything happens for a reason. But you don't want to hear that when you're standing on a playground and the kids are bullying you, telling you how ugly and stupid you are. You don't want to hear that everything happens for a reason when your teacher tells you you can never do that. You don't have the skill. No one wants to hear that when someone says, sorry, your dad's been diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease and he has 2 to 4 years to live. Whoa, time out, everything happens for a reason. I'm only 8 years old. That's not fair. I need more. We don't want to hear that. And yet, it happens nonetheless. And there's nothing we can do about it. There are going to be days when you fall off the swing. But is that not part of swinging? So let's go back. Many years ago, I would have never expected that one day I would be here. Ever. Not only like here. I mean like, not only not alive, but I mean doing any of the things that I do. Because when I was in school, my goal, my number one mission and goal was I wanted to do movie special effects. Did I ever tell you that? That's what I was living for. Once I saw Star Wars and Superman tagline, "You will believe a man can fly." And I did. I said, I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to craft things to have you be able to watch it and you sit there in complete and utter awe like I was. So my entire mission was movie special effects, movie special effects. Learn what you need to learn. Draw, paint, sculpt. To have art teachers and other teachers tell me, really? You do know you can't draw well enough. Really? You do know that Hollywood's not going to hire you because you're black. You do know this long litany of things of why I should just stop, give up, and just let the vision of whatever I want to do go. Stop dreaming. Start working. Stop dreaming. Now, mind you, when I was in 7th grade, Spanish class, don't ever ask me to speak Spanish because Spanish class, because I took the class in you. Field trip, we had to go see Don Quixote de la Mancha, the man of La Mancha. I'm in 7th grade, and I cried. I cried like a baby. When he was at that last, after they confronted him with the mirrors and forced him to see himself as he really is, an old man, not a knight errant, an old, feeble-minded man. See yourself for who and what you really are. And he was ready to die. And then Dulcinea and Sancho came to him. And Dulcinea walked in and she said, "But don't you remember? You called me by another name." And she sings the song. And you spoke of a dream and about a quest. The words, tell me the words. To dream the impossible dream. To right the unrightable wrong. To bear with unbearable sorrows. How dare you tell me to not have vision? To not believe in the dreams that I have in my mind? How dare you tell me to think small? You don't have the right to tell me what I can't do. I let go, and I gave up that dream. Next thing was, I'm going to art school. I'm going to go to the Art Institute of Pittsburgh. Same art teacher said, "Ray, didn't I tell you, dude, you don't have the skill?" Well, that's two. At that point, I said, I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. So at some point, I realized that we have to let go, right? Because I never expected to learn American Sign Language, but I did. And not only did I learn it, but I became an interpreter and a performer. I had no intention on becoming a minister. God only knew that was not on the agenda. For real. So how did I? Because I followed the yellow brick road. Literally. And as I met, oh, Scarecrow, what? Come on. Oh, Tin Man. Come on. Oh, I was willing to meet who I met on the road of life and change and transform as I needed to change and transform. Because when I was here last time and I said, I dare you, I challenge you to be something greater than what you may be willing to envision. And I know some of you took that challenge. I know. Because some of you, I got messages from some folks. And I know, because I know it's human nature, some folks, the moment you pulled out of the park, being alive, we receded to those corners of, but I'm scared. But I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what my reason for being is. I don't know why I'm here. That's fine. You don't have to know that. As long as you're willing to one foot in front of the other. As long as you are willing to die daily that you may be reborn into who the greatness of what you already are. Are you willing to take those steps to say, well, I don't know, but hey, isn't that what a pilgrimage is anyway? You really don't know what's going to happen when you go wherever you go, but you're open to the experience. How did I go from being almost 300 pounds to, well, I would be normally 165 at this present moment, but because Tracy had a birthday yesterday and we ate cake with Sarah, I'm probably closer to 170 now. Don't judge me. Yes, I may have eaten 5 pounds of ice cream and cake, so what? That's what kids do. But normally I'm 165. But how did I get to be almost 300 pounds in the first place? Because I lost sight of me. When we lose sight of who we are, we become what others tell us. I become the failure because I can't see the truth of who and what I am. I don't see it. So clearly, if I don't see it and someone says, you do know you're a failure, oh, really? Oh, thank you. I'm going to take it because I don't know any better. When your employer tells you, I'm sorry, but you're going to get an unsatisfactory on your evaluation because you're not good enough. Okay, well, clearly you're the CEO, the CFO, the LMNOP. They know better than I do. They have degrees. They have training. They have it. So if they say it, then clearly they are more worthy than I. So let me kowtow to the experts. You're the expert. You know you better than anybody else. Plain and simply. And you may not know that you know you better than you know you. You know you better than anybody else. And it doesn't matter that you may wake up some mornings and be unsure. Because like this sanctuary, now 3 steps back. I don't know if you realize that every time I come here and something happens in this place, y'all give me inspiration for new talk titles, because them playing, that they created a talk title. I would tell you now, but I'm not. But they created a talk title. And yeah, so every time I come here, I feel this new surge of inspiration. And I say that to say, this sanctuary is an amazing metaphor for our lives. Why? Because, you know Reverend Ellen Davenport from Unity of Wimberley? She has this blog and she posts, and so she posted something late last night or early this morning about the feeling the need to always improve. Like being hyperactive. I need to improve. I need to take a workshop. I need to do stuff because I've got to always be on the go to improve myself. You know, I can't just sit on my laurels. I have to do stuff. Because if I don't do stuff, then I'm going to settle and so I have to. And I understand the concept. I used to be a spiritual addict. When's the next workshop? When's the next yoga class? What's the next book? I have to get that. Always waiting for the next thing, thinking the next thing is it. There is no next thing that's it. You're it. Like literally, you're it. You're it. What does that mean? We say, new thought, metaphysics. God is all there is. If God is all there is, then you are it. Right? The same way Yeshua, Jesus, said, I and God are one. He's not the great exception. It's the great example. To remind us that I did this, so can you. And even greater. Right? So he serves as the example to remind us what we can do. But are we doing it? 12 powers of man, 2 that I'm going to mention specifically in reference to having this vision, this ability to have sight and insight and foresight. Peter and Bartholomew. Anybody know what Peter and Bartholomew represent? I'm messing with you. Oh, okay, I got one. Faith. Which one's faith? Peter. Ah! Okay, sorry. It happens. My game showed me coming out. And ladies and gentlemen, can you tell me which one Bartholomew is? Imagination. Look at that. Yes, faith and imagination. Faith and imagination. Faith and imagination. Do you have faith? Yes. Because I heard the wheels. Well, yes, you have it. You may not realize you have it, but you do. You may not use it, but you have it. Because just getting up in the morning and getting in your car or going to the store, you have faith that when I go to Giant, they're going to have some milk. I have faith that they're going to have and when I go and they don't, I have faith that, well, Food Line's going to have it. I never wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to go get some milk. Oh, there's probably no more milk in the world. We don't do that. So clearly we have some aspect of faith, but are we using it the way that Jesus used it? We have imagination, especially these young folks. Don't you ever let an adult tell you to give up your imagination. Ever, never, ever, never. Because there's a whole bunch of grown folks that don't know what they're talking about. Imagination is like Thor's hammer. Imagination is power. It's like Spider-Man's webs and his ability to... It's power. Because if you can't imagine a thing, you can't create it. Plain and simple as that. You can't create from this emptiness called... You can't do it. How can someone, and I know Walt Disney, and I know I've mentioned Walt Disney before, and I know he's got his detractors and whatnot, but I don't give him that. How do you say, I'm going to create this thing called amusement park, and I'm going to put it in a place where everyone says it's impossible because it's swampland, and I say, I don't care, I'm going to do it anyway? How do you do that? Imagination. The fact that he calls his people Imagineers. They're engineers of the imagination. What in the world? What? I'm like, that's phenomenal. They're Imagineers. They are engineers for the imagination. If I can see it in my mind, then I can put it in the world. Plain and simple as that. If I can see it in my mind's eye, I can put it in the world. A couple of weeks ago, I was watching, someone sent me a link of a minister talking on YouTube about something. And one of the things he said, peace is not possible. Because source needs paradox. Duality. You can't have peace. Your war, you have to have... The nerd in me wanted to type him an email. Because that's him. This is why I say some adults make me love like. We get mixed up sometimes. He's putting source in a tiny little thing called box. If source can create and show up as all of everything, you don't really believe the source can say, yeah, this thing called war, as soon as you figure out how to get rid of it, it's done. It's over with. Do we really have to have war to have peace? So when I ask people, can you imagine it? And I get a no. That's why. That's why I say, are we using the power of faith, the power of imagination to really see it? Because you can't be what you can't see. Right now, what's on your forehead? You can't see it. You have to turn to somebody and say, Michelle, what got something on my forehead? You have to turn to somebody and ask them. Because you can't see it. We can't see it. No, that was good. You actually got this. right? How many women would be willing, if I were to ask you, wake up, as soon as you wake up in the morning, close your eyes, let yourself be blindfolded, and then go ahead, get dressed and put your makeup on? Now, you would not do this because, to a certain degree, well, I need to see if it's blended the way I want it to be blended. Now, clearly, I can find my lips. It's not like I'm going to be, what the lipstick? Clearly, it's not that. Because if it's that, the issue's more than a blindfold. Just saying. But the point is, am I blending the way I want it to blend? Am I, I don't know all the finer trees, but am I doing what I wanted to do the way I want it to be done? You have to see yourself. So you need to have a mirror. And the mirror must be polished. Because if you go into a house that's 300 years old and you look at your face in the mirror, it's going to look like a funhouse mirror. You're like, oh my goodness, I lost my nose. Because it's not in the reflection. So you have to be able to see to be. So I say this sanctuary is an amazing metaphor because there are windows. And these windows allow us and afford us the ability to see through them and to let light shine in. So rather than focus all this time on, I have to do this, whatever this is, to improve myself. Whatever that is, let that go and realize you're already it. You're already whole, perfect, complete. The only thing we need to do, polish the windows. Because this thing called life is going to put dust on them. And don't curse the dust. Dust serves a purpose. I don't know what it is, but it serves a purpose. It wouldn't show up. Source said, I'm going to show up giraffes. That's cool. Longer neck. Dust. So if God is all there is, then God is dust. I don't know why, but it is. So we accept. Dust forms. And if we never touch these windows, 10 days from now, 50 days from now, this time next year, can we see through them as clearly as we can now? No. Will the same amount of light shine in? No. So what is our job? Keep the window polished so that we can see clearly. So that our light can shine forth. So that we can see Source, God, mirrored back at us in the faces, namaste. So I can see, but I'm not going to see that if my mirror, if my window is not clean. I can't see you as the divine in me recognizes and acknowledges the divine in you if my filter is blurry because of whatever's going on. I'm going to judge you and ridicule you, harass you and bully you. And sometimes it's not even because I want to. It's because I'm hurting so much, I have no choice but to strike you. Snakes don't wake up in the morning saying, so, Steph, who are you hurt today? They don't wake up with that intention. They go and do what they do, and then someone walks over and they're like, oh goodness, oh goodness, oh goodness. Right? They fight because y'all gonna talk about me over lunch. I know, and I don't care because I love you. But they don't bite because they have nothing better to do. They bite because they're afraid. I lash out because I'm afraid. Because the pain in me is so great that I have to call you stupid or ugly or worthless or whatever it is that I do. You stupid driver, use your signal. How, what? You couldn't count pennies at home and Coinstar this? How many coupons do you have? They need an aisle just for seniors. But that's because my windows have become covered with soot and dust and decrepitude versus me saying, there's nothing for me to do. I'm already it. Polish the window. And I don't polish the window because for some reason I have to be better by polishing the windows. No, I polish the windows because I want to see. I polish the windows because I want light in. Simply because every day when we wake up, setting the intention to say, who do I want to be today? Who do I want to be today? Do I want to be Raymont Anderson, child of Charles and Lois Anderson, abused, neglected, hurt, in pain? Do I want to be Raymont Anderson, 300 pounds, hated myself, wanted to die? Or do I say I'm Raymont Anderson / source? Raymont Anderson / I am that I am. Raymont Anderson, I can be anything I want to be today. I can do anything I want to do today. I can have anything I want to have today because I'm it. And the moment I allow myself to have that vision, who do I want to be today? That's what I want to be today. Now, how do I do it? Once I make up my mind that that's what I want to be, what do? I want to be more peaceful. Then what do? I want to be more loving. Then what do? I want to be Christ embodied in this form. Then what do? The moment you wake up, the moment you walk out, how does Christ shop? How does Christ put on makeup? How does Christ change a tire? How does Christ drive out of his parking lot? Be that. But you can't be it if you can't see it.